Almighty and ever-living God, source of wisdom and knowledge, with grateful hearts we acknowledge your abundant blessings showered on us and our institute all through these years. We truly believe your blessings inspired us to be committed to the ethos and values this institute holds and to shape the young minds to illumine with your knowledge and wisdom. Today we thank you for gathering all of us from the academia for this meaningful interaction on cultivating human excellence. We ask your guiding spirit to steer us through our discussions and deliberations. Bless our conversations with goodwill, sincerity, and truth. Help us to see and understand the challenges we face and give us the wisdom and courage to address them with greater vigor, commitment, and collaboration. Bless each one of us that through our diverse talents and resources, we may continue to enrich each other in the service of our nation and society. May your divine wisdom guide us through the course of this day. Amen.
Thank you, Father. As we begin the day, we extend a heartfelt welcome to our distinguished chief guest and respected speakers. Your presence enriches this platform and brings immense value to today's discussions. Before we start, we have a gesture of welcome. I request Director Father Paul to welcome our chief guest for the day, Mr. G. Balasubramanian. I request now our principal, Dr. Vijay Vadai, to welcome Mrs. Neeru Kapai. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. I request our institute mentor, Professor Govardhan, to please welcome Mrs. Kana Roy Chaudhary. I'd like to call upon Father C.J. Jose to welcome Mrs. Bharti Bijwe. Father, if you could just wait for another minute. I would like you to please welcome Dr. Mrs. Mrinalini Dasture. I now request Dr. Abrinil Banerjee to please welcome Sister Elizabeth Bina. I'll take the opportunity to ask Dr. Banerjee to remain on stage to present an introduction of this meaningful workshop and its vision. Thank you.
I quote, "Don't limit a child to your own learning, for he was born in another time." I unquote Rabindranath Tagore. Good morning, everyone. I would like to begin today's gathering with the words of Gurudev Tagore, whose vision for education was far ahead of his time. He believed that education must be more than delivery of knowledge. It should awaken curiosity, build character, and above all, nurture the human spirit. There's a story often told about him. When Tagore founded Vishwa Bharati in Shantiniketan, he insisted the classes be held under the sky, beneath the trees. He said, "Let the child feel the world, the sunlight, the world. Only then can we speak of true learning." This simple yet profound idea reminds us why are we here today? To reconnect education with excellence, empathy, and experience. Cultivating Human Excellence 3.0 is a step in that direction. It is with immense joy and a deep sense of purpose that I welcome you all to the third edition of our flagship initiative, Cultivating Human Excellence 3.0, hosted at St. Vincent Pallotti College of Engineering and Technology, Nagpur. The journey of CHE began with a vision to bridge the gap between the school education and holistic human development, and to provide a platform where educators can come together, share best practices, and collectively strive for excellence. Our first two editions in 2023 and 24 focused on themes like National Education Policy 2020, life skill, and sustainable development, and saw participants over 400 educators in Nagpur. This year, we extended our reach with a special edition of CHE in Bilaspur on 5th of January 2025, in collaboration with St. Francis Higher Secondary School, Bilaspur. That edition was a resounding success, with vibrant discussion on experiential learning, holistic report cards, and inclusive education. The enthusiasm of educators and the insights shared there further affirmed the growing need of such kind of engagements. At SVPCT Nagpur, we go beyond the boundaries of technical education. As an autonomous institution committed to excellence, we believe in contributing meaningful to the wider educational ecosystems. Our goal is to nurture not just competent professionals, but individuals who are empathetic, value-driven, and future-ready. Today, with over 176 enthusiastic participants present in person from more than 43 schools, and an additional 73 joining us virtually from across the country, we begin the workshop with immense energy, enthusiasm, and a shared spirit of learning. This year, CHE 3.0 brings you carefully curated lineup of sessions from some of the most respected voices in the field of education. We are especially honored to welcome our chief guest, Mr. G. Balasubramaniam sir, former Director of Academics, CBSE New Delhi, a nationally respected educationalist and an inspirational speaker. Today, he'll be delivering the keynote address on education in pursuit of human excellence, a theme that perfectly aligned with the spirit of today's gathering. For our sessions, we have Mrs. Neeru Kapai, who will be speaking on promoting holistic well-being through inclusion, safety, and awareness in school, a vital topic in today's fast-evolving academic environment. Sister Elizabeth Bina will share her perspective on a journey towards excellence and holistic well-being, drawn from decade of impactful service. Dr. Mrunalini Dasture will explore the philosophy of time in our engaging session titled Be Intentional with Time for Holistic Well-being. Mrs. Bharati Bijwe will guide us through the principle of mindfulness, a powerful tool for self-awareness and balance in both teaching and learning. This year, under special initiative of CHE, we are deeply honored and humble to felicitate 3 stalwarts of school education in Nagpur with a Lifetime Achievement Award. The gesture is heartfelt tribute to their unwavering dedication, transformative leadership, and lifelong commitment to nurturing generations of leaders. We are privileged to celebrate the remarkable contribution of Madam Kana Roy Chaudhary, former principal, Centrepoint School, Nagpur, Srimati Annapuri Shastri, Director, Bhavans Vidya Mandir, Nagpur, Mrs. Neeru Kapai, Director, Modern School, Nagpur. Their journeys continue to inspire countless educators and remain shining example of what it means to lead with passion, vision, and heart. The Lifetime Achievement Award will be presented by our chief guest, Mr. Bala Subramaniam sir, not only a visionary educationalist, but also a cherished long-time friend of these awardees. To all the school principals, teachers, and educational leaders gathered here, thank you for your presence and your commitment. You are the torchbearer of change, and your participation today is a reaffirmation of our shared belief that education is not just about information, but transformation. Let Cultivating Human Excellence 3.0 be a celebration of learning, collaboration, and inspiration. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have only just begun a journey with CHE, and we look forward to continuing our efforts to make this initiative a meaningful success. As we move forward, I invite all dignitaries to join us for the unveiling of the CHE logo. Thank you, everyone. As we move forward, I invite, now we'd like to show you a short video presentation highlighting the journey of CHE so far.
At St. Vincent Pallotti College of Engineering and Technology, Nagpur, cultivating human excellence has been a journey of growth, innovation, and collaboration. Over the past 3 years, this event has brought educators together to inspire and shape the future of teaching. It all began with CHE, where we laid the foundation for meaningful dialogue among educators. The focus was on exploring modern teaching methods and the evolving role of educators in building a better future. CHE 2.0 expanded the vision with interactive workshops and thought-provoking discussions on trends like hybrid teaching and experiential learning. It became a platform for educators to exchange innovative ideas and redefine academic excellence. And this year, CHE 3.0 focused on the theme, Integrating Holistic Report Cards, Inclusive Education, and Experiential Learning for Future-Ready Generation. The sessions emphasized innovative approaches to foster inclusive education and prepare educators and students for a rapidly evolving academic landscape. Through collaborative discussions and practical strategies, CHE 3.0 set a new benchmark in academic excellence. 3 years, countless ideas, one vision. Together, we are cultivating human excellence. Join us as we continue this transformative journey.
Thank you. I now request our director, Father Dr. Paul Chandran Kunal, to address the gathering and share his thoughts on cultivating excellence with well-being at the core.
Our chief guest, Dr. Balasubramanian, our principal, Dr. Vijay Vadai, Dr. Professor Govardhan, our institute mentor, and all of you, our distinguished speakers and guests, and my dear teachers, participants, everyone who is present here. As was said by Banerjee sir here in the welcome speech, this workshop is the result of serious thinking on the task of education. One thing that we all realize is that education is never complete with awarding a degree or syllabus coverage. Education's task is far greater. It is this conviction that led some of us to come together to plan out in what way we can carry forward this vast task of education with excellence. One of the saints of old said, "Human being fully alive is the glory of God. The glory of God is man fully alive." When a human person realizes his own potentialities in its fullness, that becomes an act of worship. It becomes the glory of God himself, because God has created us with an immense amount of talents hidden within us. And the task of education is to bring it out to the fore, so that the human person is fully realized in his potentialities that God has given to us. Now, this task is something very, very strenuous. It's not easy. You have to cultivate this conscious decision to bring it out and to work out a strategy by which you can bring it out to the fore. Cultivation involves diligence, application of mind and heart, perseverance and determination. Cultivate all that is human, human excellence. The human person is a bundle of possibilities, we know that. And very seldom do all our faculties, all our energies come to the fore. In fact, the vast majority of human beings live partially in this world and die, disappear from the stage. Very few people have realized themselves in a more complete and perfect manner. And they are the geniuses. They are the saints because they are fully realized in their human and divine potentialities. And we will not rest content with the minimum. We have to set a benchmark, excellence. Nothing short of excellence we will be satisfied with. It involves actually the development of our intelligence, our head, the development of our emotions, our sentiments, our love, our affection, compassion. It involves, therefore, the cultivation of the heart. And as the national education policy today would stipulate, it also involves the cultivation of the hand, that is the skill component. So the head, the heart, and the hands have to be developed, and then that will certainly contribute in a big way to bringing out the full potentialities of the human person. And if this is the task of education, who can do it better than the teachers? And the task of teachers become today all the more important, especially in the context of many parents outsourcing their responsibilities to the teachers as well. Many people, many parents somehow fold up saying that, sir, father, I'm helpless, you here, this is my son, my daughter, you please train him or do what is possible. I cannot. They express their helplessness, and therefore the task of the sort of education that was given at home, which was most important, is now outsourced and given to the teachers. And therefore teachers will have to assume this complementary educational role as well. An education that was supposed to be given in the families, but which was unfortunately not given, and therefore this complementary education also has to be taken up as one of the tasks of education by the teachers. And if we teachers do not do it, the students miss it out forever. And therefore, this, our coming together, is meant to reawaken ourselves to this noble task, which is also a great task. Probably we will not be able to do everything that is to be done, but we all commit ourselves as teachers, as educators, considering the nobility of our task. We will do as much as possible in order to bring out the human excellence, cultivation of his intellectual qualities, academic abilities of a student, development of the human qualities, virtues of compassion, love, inclusiveness, love for the nation, love for our brothers and sisters, and then the necessary skill sets, cultivation of the hand. If we teachers can take up this task seriously with religious devotion and fervor, I think we can contribute in a big way to the refinement of our country, to the nation building, and also securing the future and well-being of very many families and citizens. May God bless our noble efforts. Thank you.
Thank you, Father, for your guiding words. I'd like to now call upon our principal, Dr. Vijay Vadhai, to speak and inspire us.
ईशावास्यमिदं सर्वं यत् किंचित जगत्यां जगत् तेन त्यक्तेन भुंजिता मां गृदः कश्य सिद्धनम् ओम सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहे तेजस्वी नावधीतमस्तु मां विद्विषावहे. परमेश्वर आमचं रक्षण करो, परमेश्वर आमचं कल्याण करो. आणि आम्ही आत्तापर्यंत जी विद्या आत्मसात केलेली आहे तिला तेजोमय बनवू आणि आपापसातलं प्रेम वृद्धिंगत करो आणि आपापसातलं वैर नष्ट करो. I ask in the name of the God. Amen. So this is for the cultivation of the human excellence as a 3.0. We have started the journey from the CHE 0.1, 2 and 3. Today we are blessed to have the very eminent personality, very young, dynamic personality as a chief guest. Dr. G. Balakrishnanan, the great academician, great transformative leaders in the educational field, and the person, he is a guiding force for all the eminent persons sitting across the dais and the professors and principal. When I was interacting, he said that I am just 80-year-old. Give a big round of applause to Honorable Sir. The personality who is transforming this complete CBSE school environment. the very respected honorable personality, and he is amongst us. What a great things. You know, that itself is the indication that this era will be blessed with his wisdom. I am very happy that, sir, you are carrying out the legacy of the Mike Mandel. The mindscape, developing the mindscape for excelling this human excellence and shaping the personality in the changing landscape of the scenario of the current environmental and ecosystems, if you look at, specifically the exploring the innate potential of the people to the fullest extent to transform these education systems across, not only in India, but at the international level. I'm extremely happy to see you and take your darshan, G. Balakrishnamanian sir. G. Balasubramaniam sir. So thank you very much for gracing this event. This particular campus, St. Wilson Polity College of Engineering, is being nurtured with the blessings of Dr. Paul Chandrakulen sir. He is the guiding force for us for maintaining this campus as a campus of the educational excellence, not as only the human excellence, the complete educational excellence, and all the students, faculty, strengths, everybody is enjoying the fruits of the highest quality education in this particular field. And as a principal, I am very happy to welcome all the teachers across these great schools around Nagpur and in Maharashtra. You are all available. I welcome you on behalf of Honorable Dr. Chandrakunal Paul, sir. Another personality is here who has pioneered this particular education institution. Dr. Professor R.B. Govardhan, sir, who has witnessed this quality of the education from last 20 years and being the foundational personality, who nurtured this particular education system, specifically engineering. And that's why Professor Banerjee could organize this particular function today as a third function. And this is the brainchild of our Honorable Paul, sir, and Honorable Father Siju Jose. They are the people who are the fundamental and foundational mind to change the educational scenario across in Maharashtra. And I'm sure that all the faculty, those who have registered, they will feel that they are blessed to be the part of this particular, because a lot of wisdom will be shared by the honorable personality, Dr. Munanari Dasture. I know that she has worked with the Honorable APJ Abdul Kalam, sir. It's a great personality, the great vision that she is carrying, and she would like to exchange her view on with respect to the time as a directions for this new education teachers as well as the students who will be coming and who will be nurtured by all the potential teachers here. We are here to explore the innate potential of everybody. And I'm sure that with all this great personality, I'm very, very, very happy to see all this great two personal, Mrs. Neeru Kapai ma'am and Honorable Chaudhary ma'am. Your presence has made this particular event a graceful event. Your wisdom definitely will be very happy, including the Bhavati ma'am. So the great stalwarts are here to educate you and to train you in what way your future path of the journey of your education should be there. Ultimately, the tomorrow's India, the children's, those who are studying under your umbrella into the various education society, they will be definitely experiencing the complete transformative experience in the education. I am very happy that Dr. Beena ma'am is also here. She is actually, caring for each and every students in our campus. She is a learned psychologist, and we are very proud that she has internationally acclaimed personality. Such kind of the stalwarts are here to educate you, guide you, direct you, coach you in the field of how to cultivate the human excellence in the education system. As a principal, Dr. Vijay Vadai, I feel very privileged and pride to be here amongst you and welcome you wholeheartedly. पुनश्च एकदा सगळ्यांचं मनपूर्वक, हृदयपूर्वक, अंतःकरणपूर्वक स्वागत करतो आणि इथेच थांबतो. थँक यू व्हेरी मच.
Thank you, sir. It is a great honor to welcome the chief guest of today's workshop, a visionary educator, thought leader, and lifelong learner, Mr. G. Positions in Indian education, including Director Academics and Chief Vigilance Officer of the CBSE, where he was instrumental in shaping academic policy and innovation across the country. He also served as principal advisor to national and international institutions and currently leads as the chairperson of the International Council for School Leadership. An alumnus of prestigious institutions like Presidency College, Madras University, and international programs in the UK, he holds postgraduate degrees in chemistry, Hindi, and education. His work post-retirement is equally remarkable, having conducted over 7,000 training sessions for teachers and principals, and authored acclaimed books such as Mindscaping Education, Unlearning Learning, and A Happy Journey. A recipient of several honors, including the Vocational Excellence Award, Seva Ratna, and Lifetime Achievement Award from Wimhans for his contribution to adolescent education, Mr. Balasubramanian continues to influence the future of learning with unmatched wisdom and clarity. Since the CHE held in Bilaspur earlier this year, he has remained closely associated with our initiative. It is an honor to have us with him today. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Mr. G. Balasubramanian.
Hello. Yeah. Right. Well, good morning, Nagpur. Uh, as a matter of fact, my program here was absolutely unscheduled because when Dr. Madhura called me a few days before, I said, sorry, this time I wouldn't be able to come because I'm leaving for US in the next 3 to 4 days. So I have a hell of a lot of work to be done. And before that, 2, 3 meetings I have. Yesterday I had a meeting in Delhi. So I said it's difficult. So she accepted and kept quiet. After 3 days, 4 days, she again called me, sir, can you make it? Then I was just checking up. I said, there are no flights from Chennai to Nagpur. I have to go somewhere, either Bangalore or Delhi or something over there. Then I thought, okay, I'm going to Delhi. So in between Delhi to Bangalore, can I hop in at Nagpur and go? And I found that there was a suitable flight, and that's how I'm right here from Delhi on the way to Bangalore. Right. So, but then I really was wondering, the topic has been very close to my heart because education for human excellence today, and that too, the program being held in an engineering college. I've had the opportunity of visiting several colleges, engineering colleges, management institutes and schools and all that. Rarely anybody talks about human excellence. Everybody talks about empowerment, this, that, and a lot of academic topics over there. But one of the most demanding situations today is to introduce a human being to the humans. I think that is the big problem today because the very objective of education has undergone a change. We always mistake education as certification, as qualification. The moment you get a degree in, say, in a post-graduation or something else, you are certified, but you claim you are educated. And I strongly believe that anyone certified need not be educated, right? My grandmother, who never went to a school, was better educated than me, right? And then there are people who are qualified, right? You know, I mean, sorry about saying about engineering colleges. I have been going in a number of colleges over there. They acquire degrees of all that, but the necessary relevant skills they don't have on hand to do that, right? So, there are so many people who have dropped out of education, but they acquire a lot of, skills on that. So certification is different, qualification is different, education is different. And unfortunately, across the country, we have to, just like our effort to identify human beings, we also need to identify what education is all about. Therefore, when you talk about education for human excellence, I think we are in the context, we are in search of, that. And then when I say, Dr. Madhura asked me, I was just wondering, what do I talk about education of human excellence? Then something struck me. I said, I should not miss attending this conference, right? I should not miss attending the conference. The reason being that before I say the reason, it said the two most important days in your life are the days you are born and the day you find out why you are born, right? Very often we don't ask that question. We all have a quest for survival. We don't have a quest for living. I think that makes a lot of difference today because we all want to achieve something without knowing why we want to achieve, right? And friends, you wouldn't believe that when I attend here today, I've grown 25 years younger, right? Won't you be happy when you find on a stage that you have grown 25 years younger for nothing worth of it? And you know what's the reason? The reason is, when I looked at all my programs, I found that I had in 2000 a national conference held as a director at Nagpur, and the theme for that conference was Education for Human Excellence. And here are the heroines sitting over here who organized that particular conference in 2000. The 7th National Conference of the CBSE. And when I approached Mrs., I think that time Annapurna Shastri was secretary, and Nehru Kapai and all other friends sitting over here were all members. And they asked me a question. Sir, out of the 11 schools, at the time there were only 11 schools, and then out of 11 schools, 10 are women principals. There was only one gentleman. How can we do that? So what did the conference demonstrate to me? The conference demonstrated to me the power of, the Nari Shakti. That was the first conference, I could say, changed the dynamics of the CBSE National Conference because a lot of academic issues were really discussed at that particular point of time. I remember great people from IIT and others had come, discussed on the conference. I remember one of the topics was NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Program, was one of the topics over there. That's how we started the conference over there. And also, it gave the meaning of we over me. Because, most schools work individually. They never had what is called a collective leadership over there. Education for human excellence is about to moving from I to we. I think both as humans as well as pursuit of excellence, our mobility should be from I to we. And I think the very concept of Sahodaya conference when she initiated in the year, is the conference was evidence to human excellence. The way they organized. The moment I entered the hotel where they gave the accommodation, I found a packet. And you know what I found in that? Sari don't. My God, to the meticulous arrangement, they had thought about. I recall them. Huh? Yeah, Vicks also, right? How do you arrange a conference? Hats off to the people who had done. And therefore, when I looked at that, I was remembering 25 years before what happened. And the same theme, I'm coming here after 25 years. And I think I was extremely happy. It showed the success of caring and sharing, I think, which is the fundamental to human excellence. The objective of human excellence is only to care and share and to live, not only with humans alone, but as a biosphere. Human excellence is demonstrated when you go beyond humans, right? I think to the entire geography, when you move around, I think that makes a lot of sense. that. Remember, when you look at the human life, there are two things which are very, very important. One is the growth, right? One is the physical growth, intellectual growth, emotional growth, psychological growth. There are several dimensions of growth, and therefore education has a responsibility to nurture all types of growth, right? Certain types of growth happen with or without your control. But there are certain types of, the growth which have to be mentored. And I think that's exactly the role of education comes through, right? Education is not merely going to a class and teaching a particular discipline. You may be a great teacher. You may claim to be a great teacher by just delivering a particular topic. I had a very interesting incident in my life about 8-10 years back. A couple of my students had come when they were my students when I was the principal of a school in Chennai. They wanted to celebrate 25 years after they left the school, And having been the principal, they said, "Why don't you come, sir? You need to be there." So they had come home, and I was all alone. I gave them a cup of coffee. One of the boys, who I would call him a boy because he's a grandfather now, right? So he was the vice president of a bank. He made a very casual remark. "Sir, I must tell you, you are a great chemistry teacher." I was very happy. I wanted to pat my back. There's somebody praising you. But there was another girl who was sitting, and she made a very interesting observation. "One thing, sir, you taught us everything except chemistry." And he said, "We are what we are because you taught us everything except chemistry." That's the matter. The whole question is, a teacher is not one who, conveys what is available in the textual material, but who is shaping the minds and the thought process of children, right? If the children have to learn from the textbook on the content, so you don't need even a textbook today. You've got everything available on the media, right? They can be very good self-learners. So one factor which is more important in life is growth, and then the curiosity to explore. I think that's fundamental to life. Any life which forfeits the opportunity to explore, I think we have missed the joy of life, right? Life is all about exploring. And you may say, "Sir, humans, there are so many people. How do we celebrate humans?" The very interesting aspect of it, every human being across the world, I had the fortune of traveling to several countries, and I have found every human being is, an icon himself. Only we claim what we call, "I am bigger because I have this qualification, I am a PhD, this, that." We distinguish between people, right? And I strongly believe, I have recently authored a book where I said, all principles of management in corporates have come from a farmer. Right from seeding to harvesting, every corporate principles of management have been displayed in the field. We have absolutely failed to recognize them. We have whatever has been available in the as a real-time experience, we have not conceptualized them because we have imported ideas from some of the packaged for knowledge domains from external world. So humans may be humans there, and you will find that there is a very interesting statement in Rig Veda which says, "Jantunam narajanma durlabhaha." Right? Of all the creatures, the human is the most difficult, precious creature that you have. But then, are we celebrating that prize? When you look at the human brain, in the recent past, neurosciences have done a remarkable job. Neuroplasticity, neurodiversity have all, come as a big boon to the teaching community. But how many schools are aware of it? How many teachers are aware of it? Are we doing anything about it? How does the learning take place? We think that the learning takes place because we teach. And now the recent claim is there's nothing called teaching. You cannot teach people. You cannot teach people. You can only, unless people are willing to learn. Learning is nothing but a neural connect. So what's my role as a teacher? Is how do I establish an environment in which people, learn themselves. So creating that. So friends, the whole question is that on this planet, the human is most precious. But then the question is, who are we as humans in the cosmos? What about a human? Now, the more and more space research comes through, you have a sense of fear. You have a sense of surprise. What is the role? How much are you famous in Nagpur? Any one of you? You are famous in the school. You are famous in the somewhat in the city. How many of are famous within Maharashtra? How many of us are known within India? And how many of us known beyond India? Right? Universally. And we climb, we have a sense of ego to celebrate ourselves without least knowing who we are in this particular country. And then to talk about the planetary system and the solar system. Who are we? Not even the speck. And this solar system is nothing but a speck in the cosmic diversity. And therefore, is there anything that we should celebrate? Is there anything that is permanent? Then why should we be talking about educating people and excellence people? Friends, the question is the human beings are best vested with 5 different powers. Excellence in human consciousness. No, the very important fact that I have been recently feeling, it's a question to you. I just wrote an article a couple of days back. Is our education system distancing our learners from the human consciousness? Just think about it, right? The 5 important factors that celebrate the human consciousness is the power of thinking. Descartes once said, right? I think, therefore I am. Right? Therefore, the power, but is our education system nurturing people to think? हम क्या कहते हैं? सोचो मत, सुनो. है ना? So, the whole question basically is, our system is not, so how can you pursue excellence if you don't let the people to think? And then comes the power of discrimination, what they call the Viveka. There's a beautiful book in Sanskrit called Vivek Chudamani, probably that was one of the earliest book on pedagogy. Power of reasoning, right? Yeah. Now we talk about your question papers coming with what you call hype. I don't know what are terminologies, competency-based questions, this question, that question. But I find really there is nothing embedded in terms of competency or in terms of power of reasoning. I'm not blaming anybody. It's time for us to think. And then the humans have the greatest power of choice, right? Which I think is something which we have not exercised. Most of us were, whether in the field of education or in the field of our own personal growth, right? We don't exercise the power of choice. We always want our life has to be, mentored by somebody else, right? Right from parenting down to everything, we want somebody to make decisions for ourselves. Even people, after passing an IIT, come and ask me sometimes, sir, what do you think, which field I should go? Right? You have passed IIT, you have passed management course, why don't you take a decision? Right? So you have the power of learning, continuous learning. There was a time when I was young, my father used to say, जो भी पढ़ना है, before 24, 25 पढ़ लो, शादी हो गया तो उसके बाद दिमाग में कुछ नहीं चढ़ेगा. Right? But today, where people tell me, neurologists tell me that even in 90, if you can move your hand, you can learn violin. If you are 80 and then you can still listen, you can learn German. Because then you have the brain is plastic, and therefore you have an opportunity for learning. And again, the humans have got the capacity to adapt themselves. And I think there is no species on earth which have adapted so beautifully to the changes and transformations as the human beings. So that is what distinguishes us as a gentleman. Now, so how do we achieve human excellence? I think there's the best way is I see you because you see, because in you I see me. In other words, the power of I to be. I think the whole power of excellence in education is dissolving ourselves as a drop of water in the in the cosmic social existence. No wonder India said in those days, probably the first country to say Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, the whole world is a family. We often say, but what happened to the family system in this country? I remember to have been born in a family where there were 19 people. कौन किसके लिए खाना बनाता था, nobody knew. सब अच्छे थे, कौन किसका बेटा था, very difficult to find out. Right? We moved from the joint family to the small family. Why? What's the reason? I went to a school. Class 1, the teacher was teaching about the family system. I asked one of the boys, so are you in a joint family or a small family? Sir, I'm in a joint family. I said, how many members? 3 members, sir. Dad, mummy, and डैडी के छोटे भाई आए हैं for 1 week. Our concept of family is changing, isn't it? Now, because we are not tolerating the next person. How many of us tolerate people in our home? You don't now tolerate even husband and wife. Those were the days when we had marriages going for years together. Now, it has come to weeks or days, probably. Because, unfortunately, I'm not blaming. That's a system evolving. Probably we have lost that, ladies and gentlemen. So, a question I have after 25 years, what do I think of the same concept now? I talked about education for human excellence 25 years before. Am I going to talk the same thing today? Are we in the same world? Is it a changing world? So, I have moved from a populist vision to a space vision. Right? I said 25 years because everybody said it. But today, when I look at the world, the way the diversity has taken place, where, you think that, and how did I get this idea? Because I was just seeing a very interesting statement, right, from Sunita Williams just a few days back when she went for 8 months. She had to stay for, she went for 8 days, and she had to wait for 8 months. And what did she say? My space expedition has changed my perspective towards people. Looking down at the earth, we could not see borders of people with different nationalities. It was then that the realization dawned on us that all of us are a group of human beings and citizens of the world. I think that is the education for human excellence. Your ability to see beyond people, beyond nationalities, beyond races, beyond religion, beyond languages, right? We have moved to the linguistic division of the country. Now, even within a state, every district, people are saying, "Mera language aisa hai, tumhara language aisa hai," within a state. Right? Friends, the whole question is that, are we missing out something critical to human excellence? So, it's time for my teachers to think that are we missing something for critical to human excellence? And is this an outcome of some fear, concern, insecurity, or helplessness? All of them mixed bag. We are afraid about our own brother. Right? I have seen homes where there is a huge fight between the husband and wife. You are earning more, I am earning less. Right? I'm not joking. It happens around. We are not able to accept. The level of acceptance of people have come down beyond. So how can we think of human excellence? How can we teach unless you create, the principal said a beautiful word called mindscaping. I think the name, my first the book was titled Mindscaping Education, which was released by Mr. Kalam. Right? The question is, today, when I go and talk to the school principals and say, time has come, you have to move from landscape to mindscape. Enough. I have 25 acres of land. I've got 100 rooms available. I've got air-conditioned rooms. Nobody bothers. The future holds promise only when you say the mindscape of a school. Harvard is not the number. Nobody asks you what's the building. What do they do? When you talk of London School of Economics, they don't ask where it is. What does it stand for? No, in future, schools will be known for what they stand for. What do you deliver? I think that time has gone that you have gone. So how do we define human excellence? Right? Human is basically a state of mind. Culturing the minds of the people is very, very important. And I think that's the objective of the education. Human excellence takes us from the standard of life to quality of life. I think this is very important. Our education system for the last 20 years has addressed to enhancing the standard of life and not the quality of life. In the last conference, I made a very interesting anecdote I brought to them over there. At the cost of repetition, I don't mind doing that. I was narrating an incident which happened in Chennai. Once I had visited one of my brother's house, and I was coming from the car. It was a hot day. While coming, I found there was no water bottle in my car. So I asked my driver to stop somewhere. I said, let's have a glass of juice and then go. Stopped there. Went to the shop, bought a few apples and had a juice. I left my bag, a wallet nearby, got to the car, came back. 2 minutes later, I got a phone call. Sir, are you Mr. Balasubramaniam? I said, yes. Sir, you have left your bag and wallet here, your passport and some cash is there all over there. And I said, thank you very much, I forgot. I'm just at the corner of the street, come back 2 minutes. I came. There are 3 guys waiting with a T-shirt and jeans. From the talk that they had, I could understand they were software people working somewhere around there. And one of them asked me, sir, were you direct to CBSE? I said, yes. I saw from the, in your visiting card was kept in your bag, so I saw from that. I said, fine. So, sir, I'm also a student of CBSE. I was very happy. I wanted to pack my bag. And that was momentary. As I turned, he said, sir, I'm sorry. No work is free these days. We waited for 10 minutes for you to come and do. So you'll have to pay for the cost of the juice that we had, 150 rupees for 3 of them. I kept quiet, gave 150 rupees, walked away. A few days later, I walked into the Marina Beach, right? I was coming down. The old books are always kept on the road, and I had an opportunity. I love them to take old books over there. As I was walking around, after buying some book, I kept my wallet at the back and walked. I didn't know it has fallen down. A few steps I had taken, suddenly a boy pulled up my hand, half naked. He had only a trouser and not even a shirt. He pulled my hand and then said, sir, your purse has fallen down. He just gave the purse to me. I had about 3,000 rupees in that. He handed over to me and ran away. I found that boy was in absolute distress only not even with a shirt. I turned down. He ran away and sat down by the side of his father, who was a cobbler. I was very much touched. I went into the cobbler and took a 100 rupee note and told him, thank you very much, your son has helped me, otherwise I would have lost the whole thing. You know what the cobbler told me? Sir, please don't spoil my son by giving him money for that. He should not get the feeling for helping others. He should take money. I didn't want to know who was qualified. So you have a standard of life and a quality of life. Am I right? So we need to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that takes us to a very interesting question, that what have we done to our quality of life? I just wanted to share, I'm sure all of you understand Hindi. Therefore, I'm a strong, I have a strong love for poetry in Hindi. There's a great book called Kurukshetra by Ramdari Singh Dinkar, right? A book, you know what he writes in that? किंतु है बढ़ता गया मस्तिष्क की निशेष छूट कर पीछे रह गया है हृदय का देश नर मनाता नित्य नूतन बुद्धि का त्योहार प्राण में करते दुखी हो देवता चीतकार चाहिए उसको उनको न केवल ज्ञान देवता हैं मांगते कुछ श्रेय कुछ बलिदान चांदनी की रागिनी कुछ बोर की मुस्कान नींद में भूली हुई बहती नदी का गान व्योम से पाताल तक सब कुछ उसे है ये पर ना हुआ यह परिचय मनुष्य का ये उसका श्रेय श्रेय उसका बुद्धि और चैतन्य मुर की जीत श्रेय मानव की असीमित मानवों से प्रीत एक नर से दूसरे नर के बीच व्यवधान तोड़ दे जो बस वही ज्ञानी है वही विद्वान. Right? That's it. The question is, if you are not able to relate to the other person, if you are not able to celebrate the whole thing, so what are the different perspectives of excellence, right? When Churchill was asked what is excellence, he said, excellence is moving from the ability to move from one failure to another with greater enthusiasm. Isn't it? It matters, right? Our conviction. And then, when you came to Aristotle, he said, excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution. It represents a wise choice of many alternatives. Choice, not chance, determines destiny. Powerful words. Do our children understand and reflect? And then you have Longfellow who said, in character, in manner, in style, in all things, the supreme excellence, simplicity. I think is a very important word our children need to know. We are living in a credit-based society. My God, I don't know how many of the people who would have lost their, have heart attack in the last 1 week thanks to Trump, right? The markets collapsed like any damn thing. You know, I feel very sad when people build nests or houses which they cannot afford, buy things which they cannot afford. We were taught to live within the means. That was India. Now we have brought I'm not saying they are wrong, but that doesn't suit the country. That doesn't do, help this one. So therefore, all that what we need is, we are repeatedly what we do. Excellence is therefore not an act, but a habit. So the schools therefore have got to initiate a habit in the children. thanks to for the initiative you have taken on this one. This conference should not be a Nagpur conference. It should become now time for percolating across the country. You must have subunits across every state and then start doing that. So excellence calls for a growth mindset, not a survival mindset. So how do we grow? On 4 domains we need to grow. We need to grow on personal excellence, professional excellence, social excellence, and intellectual. The world demands all kinds of excellence today, and therefore the schools need to address. I was told that somebody is going to talk about holistic education. I think holistic education embraces all these things. So I've already talked about it. One of the things, the power of thinking, reasoning, but one factor which I want to talk to you about, compassion. I think we are becoming a society which is less compassionate as what we had to, right? What we had to. Compassion is something which is absolutely lacking. We are, hypocritical and pretending about compassion is that. So how does education help? Self-worth. I think this very, very, very important, whether it's a school level or at the college level. I think many of our children do not know what is their self-worth, right? I think their competency they do not know. We need to teach them what self-worth is. Self-confidence is very, very important. Number of graduates from engineering colleges and others over there come, and it is said that out of every 10 candidates coming out of professional colleges, right, 7 of them who have got skills but no courage. It is only 3 of them who have got courage but may not be skilled, they excel. So I think that's a very important factor, right? It opens, and now the knowledge is becoming absolutely different. What I learned last week is irrelevant today, right? Knowledge dynamics is absolutely community. Therefore, whether you are a PhD, whether you are a professor, whether you are a director, you are a chairman of this one, it doesn't matter unless you learn. You are just being put into your dustbin. When I recently addressed a couple of students, one student asked me, "Sir, when were you a teacher?" I said, "I was a teacher about 20 years back." "Do you know anything about AI, sir?" I said, "I know little." I said, in 1972, when I published the first book on computers, the glossary, the first word was AI. And the definition of that AI was knowledge information processing systems. That was the definition of AI. Today the AI is different. I can't use it. The question is, knowledge is becoming, how you defined knowledge a few years back is not true. So my dear teachers, that I have got 20 years experience, 25 years experience, it is a big danger to you. Don't go on saying that I've got so much of experience. So you must say that I am relevant. I have learned yesterday. I think that's a challenge that you have, and that's a real growth mindset. Ladies and gentlemen, did Indian education pursue? Sir, all that what we have got from abroad. Now, with this one factor which I should remember, it's time that we celebrate Bharat. We celebrate our country. There's so much potential that we had. We are the first one to say that noble thoughts come to us from every corner of the world. And this is the country where we talked about taking the individual self to the universal self. I think that's the dynamics of your, human excellence. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you what Mark Twain said about India. India is the cradle of human race, the birthplace of human speech, the mother of history, the grandmother of legend, the great-grandmother of tradition. Our most valuable and most constructive materials in the history of man are treasured up in India only. Mark Twain said. I can quote 100 people who have said that. That's a potential. Unfortunately, we as Indians today, we are not celebrating what we are capable of. And I can bet with my international experience go here, I always say we are far better. Probably we are not dressing like people. We are not talking that. I think intellectually, emotionally, psychologically, we are good. But we have a trait which we have to understand. We are good in defeating ourselves. We don't need anybody to defeat ourselves. We defeat ourselves. I think that's where the education system comes through. So India was the abode of human excellence. I don't want to take on that. How did Indian education pursue? One of the major factors in Indian education was that in early days they said, the objective of education is to create a sthita prajna, right? One who resides in his own consciousness, one who is not tempted, one who is aware of what is capable around. But today we are having a royal conflict between being and becoming. What is that? Class 1 child, what do you want to become? I want to become a doctor. I want to become an engineer. I want to become this. Nobody says I want to become a human being. Right? I think that is one of the factors that we have. Now, the diversity in the world is increasing. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have some 5-10 minutes time. Right? I'll just finish quickly. So, how does education, help to pursue human excellence? One, the larger objective, know thyself. Right from the children, we have got to nurture children to know their strengths. If they cannot accept themselves, there's no point in accepting others. I think this is not a philosophic statement, but this is a kind of self-awareness that you need to. And then, tell the, what do you call, socio-emotional consciousness. I think even CBSE is talking a lot about social-emotional consciousness at this point of time. I think it's very important in schools to create, in other words, instead of teaching individuals, we need to teach the community. I think peer learning, they have interactive learning, participative learning are becoming more relevant today to build social construction of knowledge. You know, your Wikipedia, all kinds of media that you have are nothing but social constructivism of knowledge. I think that works, and that's where they are able to, compute together. The third that they have is to, to be the best version of themselves. I think that's a very important thing, not only for the students, but even for us. What happens? Now, when I go to some of the colleges, so I've been teaching for 10 years. What the papers I used in 10 years before, I'm using right now. I'm sorry, that doesn't happen. I cannot teach what I taught last year, right? Sometimes we are not aware. With due apologies to some of the faculty, I had a very painful experience when I visited one of the engineering colleges in Tamil Nadu. I was asked to give a talk to the students, third and fourth year on life skills for engineers. That's a topic I was supposed to give. When I went there, before that they said, sir, half an hour you talk to my faculty, and then you can talk to that. I had a faculty, and one gentleman from the IT department came and asked me a question. I felt like killing myself. He said, sir, what is the relationship between software and soft skills? I said, what? Because both are soft. My God, you may be a great person. The question basically is your ability to move beyond your discipline of learning. I think that is what you have to be a best version of yourself. I think that attempt we are not creating in the people over here. Now pursue the real happiness in that. And one major factor which world over is going to change over is what you call the minimalism. I think this is what the lesson we got today. We are in expansionism, absolute expansionism. That I think that's going to be a great threat. And when COVID came to me, came here, I think I told you here. So I will use later. Relationship management. I think that's becoming a very important factor today. Whether it's we are not able to relate to people. We are not able to relate to the people because we are not treating people in equal terms. We are all in a hierarchy, educational hierarchy, financial hierarchy, power hierarchy, whatnot. Right? My friends who are here, they have not come here because I was a director. Never, I always used to say, the moment you come out of the post, you just keep that out. Your human being human being is more important, ladies and gentlemen. And the lessons. COVID was a great equalizer, neutralizer. We missed that opportunity. When some people ask me a question, sir, what COVID taught you? I said 2 big lessons. One, nothing matters in life. है ना? जब जिंदगी नहीं है तो क्या फर्क पड़ेगा है? Nothing matters. Second, everything matters in life. When you are out, थोड़ा सा bread भी मिल जाएगा, because people neglected you. These are the extremes in which we live. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, learning to live together is another very important thing that you need to, I think, sweet are the uses of adversity. We are in a world today, people, our children are suiciding themselves for even the smallest thing. I know school students who are, I didn't get a shoe properly, I didn't get a mobile phone properly. We are not, killing ourselves for something. I think that's very important that we need to deliberate on that, all in you and you in all. I think service to humanity. Hands that help are holier than the lips that pray. They say, preparing our children to, empathize. I think I have seen children who go to old age home and see the people sitting there. There's a big transformation coming in their minds over here, because what they see at home and what they see at old age homes are entirely different. I think that's a very important thing on socializing. And the global technology is yours. You know, what is a global technology? Our Dr. Paul made a very interesting observation. There is no better technology than the human brain. You put 100, quantum computers together, that will not match today, because we are yet to know what kind of quantum computers are giving through. We are still, struggling with the robots. But now I am concerned about the suicide of the robots. Every alternate day, the message comes, robots are suiciding because of the work being taxing. So I think we need to culture our children on the brain, and you are bigger and better than what you think. I think that's running an extra mile. I think we need to tell our children to run an extra mile. I think this is very important. Success in life comes to people, one who are willing to run an extra mile, right? Willing to lift the bar than what you define by yourself. I think that is a message. Well, I want to go further on that, and I think that developing human excellence is a social responsibility. Developing human excellence is, whether you are in education or elsewhere, but teachers and schools and institutions have got a greater responsibility, because conferences of this kind are going to really take you to make you think. I think if we are able to make people think, we have done the job. Thank you for the opportunity that you have given. I've enjoyed being here.
On behalf of all gathered here, I express our heartfelt appreciation for your inspiring address, sir, and also rooting us back to the core concept of human excellence. I request our institute mentor and our principal, Dr. Vijay Vadai, to please present the chief guest with a token of gratitude. Thank you, everyone. As we continue this inspiring journey of cultivating human excellence, it's time to take a pause and honor the trailblazers amongst us, individuals whose lifelong commitment to education has shaped minds, transformed institutions, and elevated the very standards of teaching and learning. The Lifetime Achievement Award is a mark of deep respect and recognition, a tribute to decades of tireless service, unwavering dedication, and impactful leadership in the field of education. Today, as an institute, we would like to felicitate 3 distinguished educators who have not only led with vision, but have inspired generations. I request our chief guest and the SUPCT faculty members to kindly come on the dais as we give away the awards. SUPT management members, sorry for the... As we move along to the award presentation, I would like to take a moment to highlight the remarkable achievements of the awardees. It's a privilege to introduce our first awardee, Mrs. Neeru Kapai, an eminent educationalist, visionary leader, and founder of Modern School and Jingle Bells Kindergarten, Nagpur. With over 45 years of dedicated service in teaching and school leadership, she has shaped the academic journey of countless students and mentored educators. Mrs. Kapai has held numerous prestigious roles, including chairperson of CBSE Sahodaya Schools and master trainer for CBSE. She has been instrumental in conducting impactful workshops on classroom management, life skills, and value education. A dynamic personality and a pioneer in school education, she has received several accolades, including India's Most Impactful School Leader Award, IPN 2022, and now in recognition of her lifelong contributions, we'd like to honor her with the Lifetime Achievement Award. Ma'am, please. The next awardee, Mrs. Kana Roy Chaudhary, is a distinguished educator and former principal of Centrepoint School, Nagpur. With an illustrious career spanning over 42 years, Mrs. Chaudhary is celebrated for her student-centric, concept-based approach to education, and her leadership is grounded in collaboration, autonomy, and empathy. From her early days as a national-level athlete and rifle shooter champion to her academic journey through Presidency College and Calcutta University, she brought excellence to every role she has undertaken. She began teaching in 1982 and rose to become the principal, mentoring countless educators along the way. Today, as we recognize her enduring impact with this well-deserved Lifetime Award, we celebrate not just a career, but a legacy of inspiration, dedication, and excellence. Please join me in welcoming Mrs. Kana Roy Chaudhary. Due to unforeseen developments, Mrs. Annapurni Shastri is unable to be with us in person today. However, we wish to take a moment to recognize her invaluable service and commitment. The award in her absence would be received by co-convener Dr. Madhura Kulkarni and personally delivered to her as a token of our deep appreciation and respect. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
The table, if you open, there's pads to write.
With this, we conclude the inaugural session. I extend my heartfelt thanks to all our esteemed guests, participants, and dignitaries for their gracious presence and inspiring words. Kindly remain seated for a group photograph before we break for tea. We shall convene by 11:30. Let me confirm the time. Please wait for a group photograph. I request the last four rows to kindly stand at your place itself so that we have everyone is seen in the group photograph.